Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet yet again for another tutorial. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are doing part 9, and this is the truth, part 9 of our granny square blanket crochet along. Now in this blanket you will be doing 2 rows of our border. This is the first row and the second row, and in this particular border here we have a kind of join in the middle there. You'll see that in the actual tutorial itself. What can I say? You will need your crochet hook, you will need your scissors, and you will need your darning, sewing, weaving needle. And don't forget, if you are just joining us new, sorry about the blue there guys, if you are joining us new and you would like to do this granny square blanket, then click on the link below inside the description box there. There will be a playlist link. And what you do is you click on that playlist, and right to the very bottom of that list will be the last tutorial, which is this one here. Will be the links to all the other tutorials, and right at the very top will be the very first tutorial for the blanket. Don't forget guys, I think I've mentioned it in previous tutorials, when you look at your blanket on the right side, your V's there will be facing you. Now we are starting on the right side. When you look at your blanket and it's the wrong side, the V's are facing backwards. So you need to start on the right side. So your hook needs to be, oops, not there, there. All right, I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm just going to let you get started. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell button so you can receive further tutorials. Don't forget to like and don't forget to share. Okay, for this tutorial, you will need your crochet hook that you use to make your squares with, and the same hook that you use to do your join as you go and your very first part of the border. Okay, you will also need your scissors. Yes, you will need that weaving darning needle. Yes you will. Okay, you will need it. All right, and you will need the yarn that you use to crochet your blanket with. As you can see, I've made a mess of the label, but it's there. It's the same yarn. Okay, now, and the blanket is relatively big now, so I can't fit the whole thing in. I'll try and fit in as much as I can as I go along, but otherwise, I shouldn't be too far out of screen, I hope. All right, let's move everything out the way and let's start. Now, it doesn't matter where you start, whether you start on your shorter end of your blanket or your length, your long end, it's all going to be the same this row, okay? So no matter what we do, it'll be exactly the same. However, if you've been doing this blanket with us, you'll know that you've got your cluster set, chain 2 and cluster set in the corner. So what you need to do is start just before the corner, and we are going to do exactly the same for this space as we've been doing all our rounds. So let's bring that up a little bit. All you're doing is pulling up a loop, and then you're getting your tail end, bringing it over, and you are chaining up 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then you're double crocheting 2 double crochets into that same space, crocheting over that tail end, locking it all into place. However, we are still going to weave it in at the end, okay? All right, now we've double crocheted 3 and there are no chains. We are just going to jump into the very first corner you see, which is a double crochet, 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. I'm already coming out of frame, aren't I, guys? Chain 1 and 2, all right? And then we are going to put another 3 double crochets in this space because that is our double cluster set. All right, and of course the yarn is getting all stuck in my hands. Okay, all right, so you've performed your corner. Now, nothing's changed when it comes to doing the stitches until you get to the middle stitch. So what I want you to may as well do it with me. May as well do it with me. I won't run away. I'll be nice and fast. So just put your 3 double crochets in each space for now. And I'll tell you when to stop. when you get to the middle of that first join as you go. Not even the middle, before the middle. Okay. Yeah, this is the space before the middle, and I'll explain it to you in a minute. 2 and 3. And we're going to stop now so I can explain to you what we're going to do here. Okay, so all we've done is done our double cluster set there. We've done our first cluster, then double cluster, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 single cluster sets. Okay, so here we are at the corner. What you want to do is put 1 double crochet only in that first corner, like so. Now with your next double crochet, you're only half doing it. So it's pop your yarn over hook, pop it in the corner, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through 2, hold it there, yarn over hook, jump into your very next corner right there, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through 2. Now you should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over hook, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Then you're going to do another double crochet. Alright, so what you did is you brought, let me show you what you did. You brought those 2 corners together and made them one. Okay, so when you do your next round, it's going to be nice and neat and straight. A lot of people put 3 in there, 3 double crochets in there, 3 double crochets in there, and they have that extra bulk right there, and you have kind of a wave in the middle at every line you come to. This way, it has tightened it all up. Oops, sorry, tightened it all up, and next row will be there, and it'll be. You'll understand when you get to the next row. But I'm not going to leave you in a lurch. We're going to do a normal cluster set in the next space. 1. Oh, I'm sorry there, guys. I'm out of frame. I'm all over the place. 2. I'm making mistakes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, 3. So you're doing a cluster set in the next space. 1, 2, and 3. A cluster set in the next space. 1, 2, and 3. Cluster set in the next space. 1, 2, and 3. So we're up to this corner. I'll get a nice close-up so you can see it this time. Okay, so yarn over hook, we're going to do a normal double crochet in the corner, just your first one. Now the next thing we do, it's actually called double crochet 2 together. Okay, so you're doing yarn over hook, put it in the corner, yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through 2, hold it there, yarn over hook, jump into your very next corner space, yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through 2 loops on your hook. You now have 3 loops, yarn over hook, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, and now you're going to do a normal double crochet in the same space. And let's jump into the next space and just do a cluster set for a minute. 2 and 3. Pull up that loop. Okay, so see what you've done there? See how already nice and straight it looks? It kind of, when you do it the other way, you get like a stick out. Both your cluster sets kind of stick out in the middle, okay? This way it's flattened it out a bit, so your next row will be so much easier. So what I want you to do at this stage is go all the way down this side, and when you get to that very first corner, just wait for me there. All right, here we are at the end of the row. Okay, nice little close up there. Let me move this out the way because it's distracting. Okay, so there's your corner. We are going to do a double cluster set in there, which is 3 double crochets. Oh, why are we so blurry? I ask you, why are we so blurry? Let's have a look. Pop that there, get rid of that. Oh, did that work? We hope so. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 and 2. And then we do 3 double crochets in there. 1, 2, and 3. So what you've done is you have, let me bring that out a bit. you've done your whole row, making sure you've only done the double stitch there so you don't have too many gaps. And then you've gone here and you've done your corner, which is absolutely fantastic. So now what we're going to do, we are going to put 3 double crochets into the very next space. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to repeat that in the next space with the cluster set. So occasionally I'll say cluster set and then occasionally I'll say 3 double crochets, but they mean exactly the same thing in this tutorial. Your cluster sets in different tutorials mean different things. Okay, that's something you need to know when you're watching tutorials. Someone might say put a cluster set here, but what they've done is their own cluster. Okay, whether it's 3 double crochets, 2 double crochets and a chain and whatever else have you. Okay, and we are at our spot where we are. There's our join as you go. We're going to put 1 double crochet in there. Then we are going to put double crochet 2 together. So yarn over hook, pop it in the loop, yarn over hook, pull up a loop, through 2, yarn over hook, pop it in your next corner, yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, and then 1 double crochet in the same space. And guess what, guys? You're jumping straight into that next stitch and you're doing your cluster set of 3 double crochets. 2 and 3. And then what you're going to do now, and this is the best bit, guys, so you don't have to hear me talk forever, you are going to do the whole, we'll bring that out a bit, entire row. Just keep going around and round and round and round till you get up to here and just before the end, and I will meet you up. Here we are at the end of the row. We are going to put our last cluster set in there, which is there. 1, 2, 3. Now that's the first row of this border, this part of the border. Okay, I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that very first 3rd chain. Remember that chain there? I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of it, pull the loop through, and there you go. All right, now all you're going to do is go to, let me get a nice close-up so you can see. Go to each stitch you see there and slip stitch across. 1, slip stitch across, 2, and then slip stitch into the space, 3. Now chain up 1, 2, and 3 and put 2 double crochets in the same space. A little bit too close, sorry guys. All right, so now we have formed our very next row. Okay, so what you're going to do is pop into that corner and do your double cluster set. Same double cluster set that you've been doing all the way through the series. This is getting very exciting, guys. We are almost towards the end of our blanket. Now, I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the past that I do a victory dance after every every item I finish. And I have a little bit of a sing-song about it as well. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. And I'm going to do that after this blanket, I can tell you. All right, let's have a look what we've got here. All right, now, remember how we were going along here and then we got to this space here and we did your double cluster set, practically stuck together there. So you can form just one on that, in that join, right? Well, I'm going to show you why now, why we did that. So firstly, what I want you to do, let me bring that out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing, is just put your normal cluster sets all the way across until you get to that stitch. That looks like it's joined together with the other stitch, okay? Which it actually is. Oops, so do that all the way. 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Last one, no, 2 more, 1. Whoa, nearly did it. 2, oops. I'm rushing now because when I get to the end of the blanket, I tend to rush a little bit. 2 and 3. It's like anything that when I get to the end of any project, I rush. Now there's your set, but we're going to put it just before there. You could have put a normal cluster set in there. So your normal cluster set there. Pull that loop up. And so far, that is what you've done. You've joined up there. You've turned around. You've gone all the way to there. And now see this spot right here? You would want to put something in there, but you're not going to. We're just going to miss that 2 double join there, jump into the next, and do 3 double crochets. That's all we're doing. And you know what? I'm going to do that again because this thread has pulled. We're going to skip that there, and then we're just going to put 3 double crochets in your very next space. So you've skipped your whole double cluster thingy, whatever you want to call that there. Double cluster joiny thing. I don't even know what you want to call it. It's double crochet 2 together, I know that much. So we're going to put a cluster in there. 2 and 3. Next one. 1, 2 and 3. Next one. 1, 2 and 3. Are we there yet? Nope, not yet. Nearly. 1, 2 and 3. Now, we got to the part where that line is there again. We're just going to jump right over this and put a cluster set in the very next space. 1, 2, 3. Just do a cluster set in that next space, and then I'll stop and show you what we've done. Okay, so there you go. That is all you've done. Pretty simple, huh? You're just doing your normal cluster sets all the way across. When you get to that line, you're putting a cluster set before the line, before that 4 thingy. I don't even know what to call it. We can call it our double join if you like, our double corner join. And then we went right across into the next one and did exactly the same thing. We did a cluster set before the join and a cluster set after the join. And you are going to do that all the way through. Cluster set before the join, cluster set after the join. Get to the corner, do your normal double cluster set in there, turn around, do exactly the same thing on the other side. And you're going to do that all the way, until you get right back to the beginning, which is here, and wait for me there. All right, so here we are at the end of our row. We are going to put one last cluster set in that very last space that we have come to. 1, 2 and 3. I'm sorry, I'm singing it for you, aren't I? And then we are going to slip stitch into the top of that 3rd chain from the beginning of the row. Now, ordinarily you would slip stitch across and into that space like you did before, chain up 3, do 2 double crochets, then jump into the corner and do your double cluster set. However, yours truly is just going to pull up a loop for now because I'm going to explain something to you very quickly. All right, okay, so you did this right here. See that line there? And how we did that unusual double stitch right there, and then we crocheted in the space before it and the space after it. So all you need to do now is put a cluster in every space you come to, every space. Obviously when you get to the corner you'll put your double cluster set, which is your 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. But you will put a cluster in every space that you come to now. This is the easy part, guys. And this is a part where you're going to go away. You're going to do as many rows as you want. And then you're going to come back When you are finished on your second last row, you can come back, and then the very next row we do will be, and get this guys, your fancy row. Oh my gosh, did we think we were going to get this far? So all you need to do now is to go ahead and do as many rows as you like until you get to your desired length. Then come back in about a week's time and meet me up here, and we shall put that very final border row for your crochet granny square blanket crochet along. I still cannot get the name right. Let's hope by part 10, our border row, that I can actually get the name right. Our granny square blanket crochet along. There it is. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like the tutorial if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you can receive further tutorials in your inbox. And all I want to say right now, guys, is ciao for now.